Africa, a vast continent comprising of 54 different nations, each of them peopled with warriors. Johannesburg, an industrial powerhouse, home to the largest of the world's gold deposits, the richest square mile on the continent, and a vast population of the destitute. Here is the headquarters of the EFC organization, for nearly 2 decades the destination of the continent's brave. In 2025, the company kicks off the year with EFC 121, an event that will redefine historically the most talent-rich division, the featherweights. On March 6, 4 men go to war. 2 to fight for the interim title, 2 to fight for the #1 contender spot, and 1 to look on, nursing injury, as his teammate defends the gold that he still has claim to. This is the story of rising to the heights of a sport and the heights of the heart. This is the countdown to EFC 121, brought to you by World Sports Betting.
The featherweight division at EFC has been dominated for years by Ige Kabesa,
current featherweight and current lightweight champion.
by far the most dominant champ we've had in our history.
The wrestling is phenomenal.
His training partner, Roets, he wanted to give him an opportunity, plus challenge himself and go up to lightweight. And that gave Roedie the opportunity to fight for the featherweight title, which he did, became the champion, and that's where we're sitting at the moment.
So incredible, the backstory and the relationship that Roets and Ige Kabesa have had. It goes back to them being almost brothers. You know, they grew up together under young Roets, the same household, really being fashioned in the wrestling world. And that's why they walk the same path, you know, very close to each other. And it just so happens that they're in the same division.
It is in the small city of Polokwane, 300 kilometers to the north of Johannesburg, where Roets and Kabesa live and train, under the guidance of Roets' father, Jan.
Hey, good job.
The brotherhood between Roets and Kabesa is forged in combat and forged in friendship. They have walked a long road together and set their sights on combined success. But in the sport of mixed martial arts, nothing lasts.
He's focused on demolishing every single person in the lightweight division. The moment he goes to the UFC, then I will truly be the featherweight champion. Me and Ige Kabesa will never ever fight each other.
At Kabesa's last outing, one of the continent's most outstanding talents, against all odds,
The history of the sport on this continent.
suffered a shock defeat. In the wake of his loss, Roets continues to prepare, set to defend their remaining title for the both of them.
Doing fine, he's doing well, he's coming to the club every now and then and saying hi. He's in recovery, he's going to be fine. He's just getting through what the doctor says he must do. He'll be back within about 6 months and he'll be back fighting again and most probably challenging again for the title or defending his featherweight title.
It's the fight. Happy, man. You know, lightweight was a good journey last year. It's a new journey this year. A lot of lessons being learned. Big ups to Martin for winning the belt.
Having him around already is a blessing for me. It's a tough one to take, but I'm still blessed to have him in the gymnasium, sharing knowledge. Just having him in the gym is already enough for me.
I think his attitude is relentless. There's never an off day where he's not intense. And it's shared with his father. And he fights like that. This guy was on a massive tear, never had lost in amateurs, has a massive health risk. He's out for like 3-4 years. And to still maintain that fire and come back as if he'd never left.
After reigniting his health, Roets traveled to the United States as a standout competitor in the Ultimate Fighter reality series.
We've got the Ultimate Fighter flag. You'll see the signatures of Bullet, Valentina, and the entire Team Bullet. Team Shevchenko.
Despite a career that has taken him around the world and faced the greatest that the African continent has to offer, home is where the heart is.
Being here, being home, being on my own soil, it's a feeling of true comfort mentally, spiritually, and physically as well. There's no place like home.
For now, in the midst of his brother-in-arms' injury and the chaos of preparation, Roets has found peace after a long journey. But peace is fleeting. Because in the world of martial arts, always a new foe is on the rise. Zambia, a nation bordered by Zimbabwe in southern Africa, famously sharing the smoke that thunders Victoria Falls. It is a nation that, like many other African states, experiences a sharp divide between rich and poor. In this melting pot, Ken Sekeletu was born.
My dad passed away when I was very young, when I was about 4. Like any other African kid, if you have got a father, he can show you the way, show you some stuff, but everything I had to do it on my own. At a very young age, my mom left me with my grandparents. I think that was a very difficult thing for me.
Working in a panel beating shop in the depths of Lusaka, Ken and some fellows began a path of self-instruction, learning MMA techniques from the internet and testing them in their own laboratory.
Find some guys grappling, they didn't understand anything. That's his first day I did jiu-jitsu. Started MMA, and then the guy started telling me, hey, this is a professional sport, you can be a pro fighter if you want.
Together they shared one goal, to enter the EFC, and from there to reach the very heights of the sport. In 2019, Ken found his opportunity.
I'd always heard of him. Dino Bagatine had gone and done work up in Zambia, and he'd been training at a facility there and training guys. And he came back and he was like, Graham, I've never seen talent like this in my life. These guys are going to be EFC champions.
Here comes Ken Sekeletu.
Sekeletu made his EFC debut at EFC 105 in July of 2023.
War is covering up, it's all over.
Finishing his first fight 3 minutes into the first round. He followed that up with another finish in the first, a knockout in the second, and a knockout in the first. The takeover, Ken Sekeletu kept rolling, recording win after win. Today, Sekeletu stands undefeated with one goal in his sights.
I'm going to be the featherweight champion in Africa. I do my thing here in Africa. I'm going to go overseas. Up Dana White to give me the opportunity to fight on Dana White Contender Series, because I know I'm the future of featherweight division in Africa. You go to West Africa, you go to Southern Africa, East Africa, I'm the best. The takeover man. You remember the name. Mark my words. Let's go.
Sekeletu's burning desire is not unfounded, for in recent years, the EFC organization has become a highway. There can be no greater example than EFC's favorite son, Dricus du Plessis.
When's the first time you meet Dricus and he signs to the EFC?
Definitely met him when he was about 17. He was still a teenager. He signed with us, and I think his first fight was when he was 19. I'm sure he was coming to the event before that. So now that's 15 years. And then he started competing for us. Perfect example. Guy comes in, first professional fight with us, builds himself up, didn't win every fight. I mean, literally lost the fight, but then gets back in there, continues, wins, becomes our champion, becomes our double champion, and then signs to the UFC, and now he's UFC champion of the world. That is literally why EFC exists. That is the reason for it. That is EFC's purpose. That's why we do what we do.
He is joined by other EFC luminaries that have made the journey before him, alongside him, and those that will come after. Temba Garimbo, Gareth McClellan, Don Madge, Ruan Potts, BK Masunyani, Ngazimulo Zulu, Mark Hume, Champion Dolce, JP Bass, Demart Penna, Chad Honeycomb, Cameron Simon, Lutando Biko. All of these athletes ply their trade around the world, and all of them are rooted in the same continent and one organization. Proof that an orphan from Lusaka can take on the world. Back in Johannesburg, Ayanda Zwane, set to compete in the co-main event at EFC 121, smarts that he's lost to Roets. A fight that drives him.
Ayanda, the power Zwane. This kid is so charismatic.
At EFC 118 on October 10 of last year, Zwane faced Roets for the vacant interim featherweight title. He arrived prepared, supremely confident.
Lights on the feet and he's going to look to make the contact. Straight away, as I said, he did it.
But unable to match the experience of Roets and his suffocating grappling style.
Now he gets the back. Now he gets one.
For 5 rounds, Zwane survived the onslaught.
I didn't expect this. He was so tight in that 4th round, Simon. Where did they get a second win from?
25 minutes that fuels the young man's desire to rebook a shot at the champ.
I'm not the one that was running around. I'm not the one that was pushing time, hugging on the ground. I stood up, I wanted to trade, and yet he demolished me. How? He's lucky to be even defending that belt. In fact, he's lucky he even survived. He's lucky I didn't finish him, but I will get the job done this time. 6th of March, I will destroy Billy. And then from there, I hope you return that belt, because from there it's gonna be you and I. No judges needed on that night. I will get the job done. Try this hugging thing again. You'll regret it. Best believe I am the champion. I've always been the champion. See you soon.
Like any athlete, Zwane's dream of championship glory is fueled both by the desire for success and the need to give back to those that formed him.
You're from KZN, MC now. Durban, man. Durban is where home is, 100%.
Like many other places in Africa, Durban, located in the province of KwaZulu-Natal, South Africa, is a place of astonishing natural beauty. Majestic peaks and roaring oceans, and a seething metropolis.
I lost my dad at an early age. I think I was like 1 or 2. Got a baby sister, baby brother, just a single parent mom. She tried to make sure that we always had everything that we needed. It wasn't an easy childhood, but we tried to make it as easy as possible. Oh man, fighting for my family, man. Trying to retell my mom so at some point. Family keeps me pushing, keeps me motivated, keeps me showing up to the gym every single day. It's bigger than me. Goes beyond.
In MMA, we see it so often where a young athlete rising up, so much potential, then hits a loss. Even 1, 2, 3, 4 losses. They either break from there and you never kind of hear from them again, or they learn from that and they come back better. And some of the best fighters in the world have had losses earlier on in their career, and they've grown from that and developed from that. And Ayanda's one of those.
As we always talk, the next champion, featherweight champion. It's my time.
Meanwhile, in the suburb of Boksburg, 30 kilometers to the east, a different kind of fighter prepares with a different kind of mindset.
Yo, Happy New Year 2025, let's go.
Billy the Kid Westhuizen is one of the most beloved figures in the EFC organization. A veteran of 14 fights in the company, he stands on a record of 8-6. Every fight, a wonderland of entertainment.
This fight is underway.
I love seeing Billy on fight card. There's no one else like him.
He just smiles and comes forward.
Can end very quickly anytime Oosthuizen is inside.
The guy's entertaining, he's got a cool personality, and he puts on huge finishes.
Bunches and bunches.
Whether Billy wins or loses a fight, you'll never forget it.
EFC 106, one of the huge opportunities. What a knee.
He's really enjoying himself. He's actually having fun out there.
Ooh, baby.
A different kind of mindset.
Fun games.
Keep on training, never stop training.
And that's why he can beat anyone on any day.
Big smile, strong, becoming one of the top featherweight contenders.
Beneath Oosthuizen's bravado and his infectious love of life is the heart of a warrior.
He was the one who wins. No, I don't really look too far ahead. I focus on what I have to focus on now, and the rest will come. I don't really care who's up there, as long as I get there and I go for it.
Oosthuizen is an EFC veteran who has not yet had a taste of glory.
Billy Oosthuizen, in my opinion, has a 3-stage career. When he joined the organization, he was just a knockout artist looking to have a bit of fun. Coming out of COVID, he went on a 3-fight bonus tear. All of a sudden, his whole mindset changed to realize, actually, I'm really good. He's in a path right now where he's serious, he's focused, he wants to be the contender. I belong, and I definitely could be hanging my belt on a wall.
If I can choose who I want to fight between Ken and Roedie, the one who's got the belt, I don't care who I fight, I just want the freaking belt. That's it. Can you feel me now? I know you feel it.
On March 6, in Johannesburg, in the absence of the undisputed king, EFC's featherweight division goes to war. Relentless Roets, fresh from his demolition of Ayanda Zwane, enters the Hex with the interim title. He faces the sensational up-and-comer, Zambia's prodigal son, Ken Sekeletu.
I'm going to be the featherweight champion in Africa.
In the co-main event, Zwane returns. Stung by his loss to Roets, his path is clear. Destroy the kid, Billy Oosthuizen, who himself wants a shot at the top. On March 6, while we await the return of a king, a new leader will be crowned. EFC 121, World Sports Betting Arena, Johannesburg, South Africa. Broadcast details at efcworldwide.com.